Yeah, Things from Another World. Probably the best website to buy comic books on. And this thick package means that it has finally arrived. Issue number 1 of Fight Club 2, the comic book sequel to Chuck Palahniuk's novel Fight Club, which became popular when it was made into a movie in 1999 by David Fincher. Before I unbox this, perhaps I should go into my bona fides as a fan of Fight Club. I've gone over this before, but I might as well do it again. This is me and Chuck Palahniuk. I met him at a book signing that he was doing for the book Lullaby. This was roughly around the year 2001. I don't have my goatee there. I'm also fatter there. That was at Brown University. A year later, I wrote him a letter, and he sent me a package back full of stuff, including a necklace that he made for me. Has your favorite author made you a necklace? No? Also, in addition to my regular Chuck Palahniuk books that you can see here, I also have various signed editions of Palahniuk books. Beautiful You was the last novel that he came up with. He has a short story book out right now that I have not yet gotten because I'm trying to see if someone's selling signed copies. But he signed that. I bought that signed. I did not get it signed myself, though. Also bought a paperback copy of Diary signed. It's the only Chuck Palahniuk book that I do not have in hardcover, because I did own it in hardcover. I let an ex-girlfriend borrow it. I was dating her at the time. She lost it on a bus. It's also the reason why I never let anybody borrow books, movies, or CDs. But he signed that. The book that I had him sign in person, Lullaby. I still have the map to where on campus he was signing. Also, Invisible Monsters Remix. He also put, like, confetti and a bunch of other stuff in here, too. He stamped it with, like, ink stamps and stuff. He also wrote a quote in there. And this was what he sent in the package when I wrote him a letter. He sent me a lettered response, as well as a signed paperback edition of Fight Club. Also, I have a signed postcard. I had him sign that at the book signing for Lullaby. But yeah, he had a personal inscription for me in there. That's pretty cool. And of course, dated here is the letter he sent me. Funny thing that's worth knowing, I asked him if he ever would write a sequel to a book. I suggested Fight Club Lullaby, and he wrote, saying, "Sorry, nope, no sequels. I have too many new ideas to want to go back." Well, it's been 12 years since then, so obviously his mind has changed, because in addition to writing a sequel to Damned called Doomed, he has now written a Fight Club sequel in comic book form. Oh, also just for fun, I have a Dutch copy of Fight Club, De Vechtclub, which is pretty cool to have. I also happen to have a Fight Club tattoo on my back. I got the Fight Club logo from the back of the Blu-ray 15th anniversary edition in like a spray paint thing. I got it in green instead of pink because I thought pink was too girly, whatever, for me. It does look blue in some light, as I've learned, but it's actually like a almost turquoise green that I got it in. So yeah, clearly I'm a guy who really is a big fan of Fight Club and Chuck Palahniuk's work. So obviously when I heard that there was going to be a sequel, I was cautiously optimistic, you know. It's always worrisome to have a sequel that it might ruin a touch on the original. But I thought it was a good chance to maybe explore more of the book, because a lot of the fans of Fight Club, sometimes they've only seen the movie, they haven't even read the book, and a lot of people who like Fight Club like it for the wrong reasons. They're, you know, sort of the macho asshole men's rights kind of guy who watch, like, you know, professional wrestling and think it would be cool to actually start a real Fight Club, and they're totally missing the, you know, satire of men and masculinity message in it. And also, I mean, the Marxist in me likes the anti-consumerism and things like that in it. But I've read the first 10 pages of the comic book because Playboy already did like a thing and then posted it online, so I was able to see those. But I've been really looking forward to this, so hopefully it's good. Yeah, so I bought a couple copies because I wanted some of the variant covers. I mean, I'm not going to buy the variant covers for every issue, because there's going to be 10 issues in total, but I had to get, you know, some of them. So, let's take a look at some of these. I like this. Yeah, people don't realize Tyler in the book does not look like Brad Pitt. He kind of looks more like Alexander Skarsgård from True Blood. You know, blonde, Nordic. Nice, alright, that's one of the variant covers. Here's another variant cover that I thought was cool, of the actual Fight Club. And the one I'm actually going to read is the regular cover, quote-unquote regular cover. So, I'm just, all that's really left to do is just read it and let you know my thoughts. Well, I've just read issue 1 of Fight Club 2. I have to say I'm a bit electrified. It's almost like you haven't seen an old friend in 15 years, and then he's back. Because I read the original novel Fight Club because I had seen the teaser trailer for the movie, so this was early 1999. The book had been written in 1996. Apparently, it had just kind of gone under the radar, wasn't particularly successful at the time. And you know, then I saw the movie, and actually, I didn't see it till November of '99. It opened in October, but I wasn't old enough to see an R-rated movie, and it took me a while to cajole an adult guardian to take me in. I know, those days. So, and aside from watching the movie, you know, tons of times, and I've read the book a few times now, it's, you know, it's not a new story. But now, to have a new story with these characters is, I don't know, it's great. I'm geeking out. I'm fanboying right now. This is how an Aspie fanboys. It's not squealing. It's just a complete disbelief. No one wants to see me. I'm filming the covers. Alright, so it's 10 years since the end of the book Fight Club, where our main character, who's never given a name, we usually call him narrator. I think the reason he never had a name is so that whoever's reading could project themselves onto that character. I mean, he was called Jack because of the I Am Jacks from the movie, though in the book it's I Am Joe. So you could call him Jack or Joe, but neither of those are his name. Well, yeah, and finally give him a name, or at least the name that he decides to go by, which is Sebastian. I'm still going to call him Narrator, fuck it. But, so Narrator is married to Marla. They have a 9-year-old son, who seems to be called Junior, so I guess Sebastian Jr. And our narrator has been taking pills to keep Tyler at bay. However, Tyler hasn't exactly been dormant the entire time, thanks to, let's say, a corrupt therapist. But he's coming out even more now because, you know, 10 years in suburbia with the family is not happiness, and even though that might be what American society tells us we should strive for, middle class or upper middle class family, you know, reproduction, a decent job, you know, maybe that's not the key to happiness. And it certainly isn't for Marla. She's not sexually satisfied, she's not excited, so in a twist that will not make the people who already claim Palahniuk is misogynist happy, Marla decides to replace narrator's pills with sugar, which only helps Tyler to come out even more. Meanwhile, Project Mayhem is alive and well. It seems to be under something called Rise or Die, Rise with a Z. And there seems to be various bombings and assassinations going on in the name of Project Mayhem. They seem to be trying to cause global instability. So a nice tie-in to our current world. You just have to remember, Fight Club was written in '96 and the movie came out in '99, and you know, 9/11 and this whole age of the war on terror did not happen until 2001. Funny thing, I used to work at a bank, oddly enough, and I had a coworker for a while who was Moroccan. So he had a thick Arabic accent, and when I told him my favorite movie was Fight Club, he was like, "Oh, Fight Club, very powerful. I love the ending when the buildings come down. It's very powerful when the buildings come down." And hearing a man in Arabic accent saying that it's powerful when the buildings come down, I just thought was very funny. But, sorry, I'm a little off track there. So that seems to be where we are now. Obviously, whereas the first Fight Club is definitely dealing with ideas of, growing up without a father, about sort of the same thing as like The Graduate. Maybe you've gone past college, you've entered the workforce, now what? What do I do with my life now that I've done everything that society has told me to do? Get good grades, go to college, what next? Get married, have a kid? Well, narrator does get married and have a kid. So now this is about midlife crisis. This is about you've done everything you're supposed to do, and your life is still not meaning anything. Now, I get that in this age where we're talking about, young black men getting gunned in the street, the malaise and the ennui of the white middle class male might not raise a lot of sympathy, but it stands to reason that capitalism, it doesn't just, starve people in third world countries, it also saps the life energy out of all of us, even at different levels, even if you would not be considered proletariat, but perhaps petite bourgeoisie. And we do see that narrator is working again. He seems to just be playing like a Call of Duty type thing at work, so he's not actually working at his job. It just kind of says something as well. And that seems to be where it is. It's midlife crisis, about marriages dying, it's about sort of... we're about relationships, we're about the economy, we're about where the world is right now, it's putting in a lot of both age-specific things. I mean, I'm 31, so I'm younger than Palahniuk, and I'm probably younger than where narrator is, but, I was 15 when I read Fight Club, so I was also younger than that, and then narrator was at that time, but for some reason, Fight Club spoke to me at the age of 15, even though it was probably more speaking to people who were probably about 23 or 25 at the time. Now, this one seems to be speaking to people who are more, maybe 40, maybe 39 or 38, and I'm 31 right now. So it's maybe speaking to people a little bit older than me, but it still sort of hits me, because, I mean, when Fight Club... for a while I was just a single, miserable guy working in a cubicle job, and now I'm a little bit older, and I have to go back to school. I'm just working a shitty minimum wage job right now just to make ends meet until that happens. But I've moved, I'm in a happy, stable relationship and everything. I'm not depressed anymore, though I used to be very depressed, but I'm not depressed or bored or anything like that. So I'm not quite as in a darkest place as narrator is at this point. But I was in a pretty dark place for my late teens and in most of my 20s. So this maybe doesn't speak to the depression in me, but certainly where the world is, and I can certainly see where the satire is going. That's a lot of rambling. It's not very eloquent because I write better than I speak, but I still wanted to make a video regardless. But I am very happy with it. I'm not disappointed. I want to see where it goes. I think it's very interesting. There were definitely some squeal-worthy moments. There's some great lines in there. I'm not going to show particular artwork because I don't really want to spoil how some of the frames and specific things. I've already probably told you more of the plot than you should know going into it. But, yeah, I'm very happy with this. Again, there's like another 9 issues after this. I think they're sticking with the 10-issue thing. And, perhaps I'll review every issue as it goes along. But, yeah, I'm happy. I am nerd squealing on the inside right now.